Audio, we look great. Recording off of this bad boy. We're here, through here, looking here. I'm all over the place. It is what it is. It's what I'm working with. First things first, welcome back to the channel. This is my Santa cup. Do you guys love it? My little teacup. And, good day. It's hot. All right, what did I want to talk about in this one? So I appreciate you coming back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. Now, in this video, I just want to give a lot of free information, guys. If you're looking to design your own business or specifically around the indie game kind of development space, then I'm going to give you a bunch of free assets and free resources that I'm currently using that I think would probably help a lot of people out there. So without having to do all the due diligence and all the research about, what's a great place to, find some concept art? What's a great place to come up with a brand name or a company name or a website? All those kinds of things I'm going to give you guys for free just because I like you. And subscribe, please. Well, the first one first, just some basic and more advanced kind of implementation of how do you come up with a good name for the business or for your indie game development studio. So, of course, you can come up with a conglomerate of different ideas within your own head, which is generally the best way to do it. But if that's not an option for you guys, then a place that I would probably recommend checking out is Google. What is the name of this thing? Oh, it's called Namelix. Namelix.com, and I'll probably put it up on the screen right now just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it is and what it is you can do with it, because it's a great way to come up with, some jumpstart or spark a lot of creative thoughts behind, hey, if I have this one word I really want to use within my studio or something like it, like a good synonym for it, it's a great place to kind of put that in and your concept behind it, and it'll kick back out a bunch of different ideas for you, whether it's like a 3 to 6 word or letters. Just check it out. Just check it out. You're going to like it a lot. Play around with it. You're going to get lost with time. It's a great place to kind of come up with just some basic name ideas. Great place to kind of kickstart your idea for your indie game studio. And from there, you probably want to start a website. And you can do that through Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, Hostgator, all these kinds of ideas or platforms you can use to create a website. But if you're more on the beginner side of things, I'd probably recommend Squarespace. And there's a link to that in the description below if you guys want to start your own website there. The other option, which I have always been doing for a very long time, is something like Hostgator. And you can host your website from there and build it from something like WordPress. But the place you're going to want to start with is having a domain name or your URL. What is your website actually, what is it called? And where do you buy that URL from, or that domain name from? A lot of places you can do that with. Of course, like I said before, you can do something like Hostgator or even Namecheap.com. Really a great asset to find even up to like 99-cent domain names. Of course, some of the more popular ones may be more than that, but certainly take a look there and figure out what's best for you. Audacity is a great spot to figure out some free audio sources. Definitely check that out if you guys are looking for music or even clips of different assets that you can use within the game itself. Audacity, again, link to that in the description below. A great place to start gathering your email list, for example. If you want to gather people's email list, you want to give them some free content and say, hey, in return, would really love it if you guys would go ahead and enter in your email and stay up to date with me. That's mine in the first link in the description below, so definitely do that. I like to post out newsletters, give you guys free content in return for your email address, and I'm not going to spam it out. Hopefully you guys wouldn't do that to anybody either, but it certainly is a great way to start building up your email list. So whenever you do say, hey, my game is live, you can send one mass email to all of your subscribers and all of your email list personnel, and then they're all going to get notified at the same time. So certainly a great way to do that is through something like AWeber, or what I use, which is Mailchimp. And there's a lot of different platforms for it, but even then, I like to keep it very basic, very simplistic, straightforward, to the point. So I use Mailchimp. It's a great place to create landing pages, or even just a lot of different things. So definitely check that place out if you want to start to build out your audience base from day one. Start getting a mailing list, start getting an email list for sure. The other place where you can start to kind of create a logo. And assets is going to be something like Upwork. You can hire freelancers to create these concepts for you, to create these assets for you. So for example, if you guys wanted to create a logo and you don't have Photoshop or Illustrator or really any of those kind of design platforms, then go to something like upwork.com or freelancer.com. I think it's actually now Upwork only .com. And you can hire a freelancer to create these assets for you. So you'll make a job post and you'll say the description, you'll set your own budget for it and the timeline that you would like this freelancer to have it, the whole thing completed by. And you can actually set milestones along the way just to make sure that the things are getting done the way that you want them to be along the way, so that ultimately that final product, that final logo is completed the way that you wanted it to be when you first posted that listing. So definitely check out upwork.com. But another place you can definitely check out is a place called brandmark.io. Pretty, I would say, fairly priced for what you get. You can spend like, I think something like $65, which is not a massive amount, to get a pack of assets from icons to a logo. I think it's like a header as well, and a bunch of different things. So that's certainly an option for you. You guys want to check those two things out. But if you want something that is a little bit more within your budget, if $65 is probably too much for you, then that's totally okay. Go to freelancer.com, say, hey, I want a logo with all the description for $10, $15, $20, $25. You can really get away with these and even open it up to the world. So it doesn't have to be, for example, I live in the United States. It doesn't have to be only freelancers within the United States. You can really outsource that work and get really good quality content for the majority of the time through a platform like Freelancer, Upwork. God, that's better. That's good. Okay, we're good. We can go now. Another place, like I've mentioned before, Upwork is a fantastic place to utilize your skill set. If you guys want to, for example, if you guys are a really great concept artist and you want to get some work out there, that's a great place to go on there and start building up a book of business and a portfolio and a kind of a profile page for yourself as a freelancer, and you can start getting a lot of clients that way. So certainly something you want to check out, whether you're looking to hire a freelancer or you are a freelancer looking for work. It's an excellent place to go. And if you need something like non-disclosure agreement or any kind of LLC formations, of course you can file that through your Secretary of State by yourself. You could hire a lawyer to do that, and this is not legal advice by any means, just what I've done in the past. If you guys are looking to form an LLC, for example, then you can use something even like Rocket Lawyer. Probably a great place to check out. So if you guys want to get some more basic information on something like that when it comes to forming an LLC, or maybe some files that you might need or forms that you might need when hiring a freelancer, then that's probably a place that I would go, because that's where I've gone in the past for some of these kinds of things that you need when you're looking to hire people or be hired yourself, or just file a basic LLC. So again, not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but that being said, I think you guys should totally check that out yourself. It's free and it's on Google. Oh, LegalZoom is the other place you guys could go. LegalZoom is the other place you could go to, because it's a lot like Rocket Lawyer. Potato. If you guys are looking to create pixel art, Pixaki, I will put a thing on the screen right now of how you actually spell that, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, is a great resource you guys can go to create pixel art for yourself. So if you're looking to design like a 2D game that looks a lot like the older games, I guess you could say, where it's really pixelated and really kind of squared off, where you can see every little shape, then that's a great place to kind of go there yourself, or again, go to somewhere like freelancer.com and hire somebody to do that for you. Either way works. And I guess one of the bigger ones is really, how do I kind of keep up with tasks, and how do I put all of my thoughts into on paper, for example, because it's all digital with me. And one of the great places that I use, if you guys are a Mac user like myself, I love the Notes app. It's across the way, all across my line of products, from my MacBook Air over here to my MacBook or iPad Pro to my iPhone. it's really a great place. So from an accessibility standpoint, you can't beat it in my opinion. But if you guys don't have that, or it's not your preference, then you can certainly use something like this right here on my screen, which is Google Docs. I love Google Docs. That's probably something I use equally as much as my Notes app, just because it's a really great platform to use. It's really easy. Again, you can access it from Windows or a Mac at the same time. But those are two places that I kind of keep all of my thought process, my to-dos, a lot of things. Just like literally my whole life is on my Notes app. But something like Trello is a great place to keep up with your tasks and how to, like, your to-dos. Trello is a great place to keep up with your to-dos and tasks to make sure that you're getting those things done. So of course on here, you can create different boards, you can create a different background, you can do like a due date. It's an amazing free resource to keep you guys on track. It's the way you need to be. So one of the other things I'm really big on is personal branding. I'm still working on being better at that myself, but if you guys are big into personal branding, creating a brand around yourself, or like this image for yourself or for your indie game studio, then I highly recommend that you guys go ahead, whatever the name of it is called, grab up all the social media handles for it. So for example, if your game studio's Squirrelworks Incorporated Games, then you're going to want to go on Instagram, definitely Twitter, and probably a few other places like Facebook, exactly, YouTube. And go ahead and grab that handle for all of those platforms, and also probably go ahead and grab up like a Gmail account for whatever I just said, the name of that business at gmail.com, so that is completely yours. And all of those are free to do anyway, so that nobody else can take that from you from day one. And from there, you guys can go create your own custom email address. So for example, if your business was called ABC Games, right, you can go create a hello@abcgames.com email address. So that makes you significantly more professional, I don't know, words, makes you look better. And that's definitely a good thing for all of us. So you can do that through something like G Suite, which is a paid service per month. Or if you're already paying something like Hostgator for the hosting of the platform for your domain, there is a way to get a free email address through that. So you can have hello@abcgames.com, and that's going to be done through the cPanel in your back office. So something to look forward to as well. So you can get a custom email address that's like that for free. Technically, you're paying for it for the hosting platform service, or you can go through G Suite, which is my two favorite places to go through to get that custom professional looking email address. So you can have, customer service at abcgames.com, or Mark or Brittany at abcgames.com, whoever. And that's a great way to make yourself look a lot better. And in new news, I am still developing my own game. My problem is I have like the shiny object syndrome. I have all of these thoughts and concepts that I really want to pursue and build, and I don't have enough time to do so. But I am currently working on 2 different concepts for this indie game that I'm making, and one of which is going to be this really kind of mysterious, kind of dark aesthetic, kind of fantasy style, fast-paced kind of. Well, it's not necessarily fast-paced, but it's more of like a side scroller, like I said, with darker imagery, but really well lit in certain places. And it's kind of going to develop along this character's, it's a creature, life. And you'll kind of, I'd love to share more with you guys, but I'm still developing it. I'm absolutely going to be posting some more information on this YouTube channel, so definitely subscribe to my channel if you guys would like to see more about this. Also, concept art, behind the scenes kind of things, everything I'm going to be posting on here, because I really like showing that kind of stuff for you guys. But the other one that I'm really toying around with is a fast-paced kind of online card game. So I'm really inspired by games that you can just turn on, turn off, and they're really fun to play. They're addicting to play. And something like Hearthstone, for example, has been really big for me in my own life. So I kind of like the idea of a card game like that, but more fantasy based with darker imagery. You guys know me by now. I like that kind of stuff, and I think that would be really cool, because I do have some very unique concepts which I haven't seen in that style of game, a trading card game, an online trading card game, that I think would be really cool, and I think a lot of people would want to have their hands on. But the first one was that side scroller, can kind of developing upon this character's life and some troublesome times it crosses, but again, really unique way to depict that story. And there's a lot more I can explain behind both of those concepts, but I certainly want to let you guys know that I'm still working on those. I wanted to give you a quick update as far as that goes. And of course, all of those free assets and places that you can go to today and really start doing what I'm doing right now, which is sharing information, building up a team, bringing awareness to yourself and to your game, and really feeling good about yourself, but that you're progressing with your passion. And that's what this is all about. So in the future, guys, like I said, I'm going to be posting a lot more content as far as the direction of the game itself, more free assets. I'm going to be giving you guys free beta testing codes whenever that's available down the road, 12 years from now, and so much more. So if you guys like all that kind of content and you love tea and coffee and caffeine and really staying subscribed with other fellow like-minded people who like supporting you, subscribe, and I would really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for if you guys followed along all the way through to this video. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. And until then, cheers.